lot of things. I sometimes wake up feeling anxious in the morning, and that scares me. I sometimes feel like I am about to fall off of the emotional cliff, and I'm afraid that when I hit the bottom, I won't be able to stand back up. I sometimes feel like I am just stuck to the dirt and the grass and the ground, and all I need is to hop into a hot air balloon and fly away. I just love the idea of having a baby to love, and the idea of love and two people making this beautiful creation. But when I was little, I was so in the dark about things, and my mom did all that she could to protect me from scary things and things that frighten little girls. She made the world like a fairy tale, a storybook, and I was the princess. My mom and my dad used to always call me the miracle baby, but I didn't really know what that meant. I mean, I knew that I was loved, but all princesses are loved. My mom miscarried a few times. When I was little, I would tell my friends that I was the miracle baby because my mom had lost all of her other babies. I would boast because I didn't get it. I didn't know what losing a baby meant to a person. I'm terrified of being like my mother because I'm afraid that I can't handle it. I'm terrified of losing so much like she lost and not knowing if I will. I mean, I know that miscarrying isn't genetic, but it's something that you worry could be genetic even if we don't know it yet. And I know that princesses don't lose babies, but my mom lost hers. And she was a princess when she was little too, I bet. I have sweaty palms. I also have feet that sweat, and sometimes my armpits, I'm sure you've noticed. It is called hyperhidrosis. I am afraid that someone that I love will be falling off of a cliff, and I will be the only one around, and they will only have my hand to grab, and they will slip and die. I mean, I literally can't even hold pencils sometimes, people, and people hold my hand and they say, "It doesn't bother me." Well, it bothers me, and that's why I talk about it so much, because it makes me feel like a sweaty loofah. And it's something that sounds so ridiculous to anyone who doesn't have sweaty palms, but just try to imagine that you could be responsible for someone's life, and you just have to watch it slip through your fingers. Yeah, it's something that he really wouldn't understand. This song always makes me feel like I'm in a huge jar of honey and like I'm being hugged by the honey. Like kind of how you think love feels. I feel love in my tummy and at that space at the end of my toes, though. When I was little, I would stand on my back porch balcony thing and pretend that my soulmate was in Vancouver. And Vancouver is in Canada, but I didn't even know that. I just liked the way it sounded. I would make up songs about him finding me, and I would use my pull equipment as tools that he could climb up to get to me. I feel lonely sometimes. I'm a social butterfly, and people expect me to talk a lot, and I do, but as I get older, I find that I want more alone time, and being someone who's always loved being around people, that feeling is kind of hard to get used to. Okay, I feel like there's something that I need to get off of my chest, and I just want to start out by saying that I love all animals, but I hate ants. Ants! I think that they are little spawn and that their sole purpose is to make us paranoid about if they're in our ears when we sleep at night. I mean, I got the Gumby Award on the cheerleading team in 6th grade. I mean, it was no secret that my body was an alien to me, and I just remember ants being in all of my nooks and my crannies. You know, I can tell by the way that you're all reacting that it's something that you really wouldn't understand. This next one is kind of hard to talk about, so I won't. to prove how smart I am. My 24 out of 36 on the ACT is behind me. Literally. I feel like I have been running in circles around myself and the idea of myself and the idea of love for other people just like us and how some people are scared to love. I mean, that's what people do when they're scared, they run. I mean, I'm okay with myself. I just now got here and that's okay. I can see a butterfly with orange birthmarks and cry. And even though I'm afraid of feeling so little, I can look up at the stars and know how much beauty there is in the pebble that's digging in my back. I'm okay with myself. And just a tangent, being okay with who you are and all of the little things that make up your little insides makes you feel like a hot air balloon. You start to feel heavy for long enough and you sink into the ground and pretty sure you can't see the sun anymore. But I realized that there is literally no one else on the face of the universe that has what I have, and no one has the fears that make me me. And when I realized this, I felt like I was in a hot air balloon waving goodbye to all of the things that slowed me down. And I can look at the view, and I have to admit, the breeze up here feels pretty great.
I don't speed on the highway. I wish I did, but I can't. I get this feeling sometimes that I'm living in someone else's dream. And the second they wake up, I'll be nothing more than that. A dream someone once had, short-lived and foggy. But see, dreamers can be light sleepers who wake up before the dream is complete. So I have to tiptoe through life carefully. I mean, I don't even know where I came up with this idea, but it makes sense. I mean, maybe you'll tell me I'm scared of death, or maybe you'll tell me I'm scared of oblivion, but really, I'm just scared they'll wake up when I'm not ready. When I have nothing to show. When I'm standing in the spotlight with nothing to say, and I always have something to say. I'm scared the world is a megaphone, but I've lost my voice, that everyone are stars, but my fire has burned out. And I'm scared that I'll get hurt and not have time to heal. I'm scared of time. There's a story people tell about the man on the moon, and they tell it with a twinkle in their eye and a chin pointed to the sky. But I always found my gaze on the ground, wondering if he ever felt lonely, wondering if he was once more than a twinkle in someone else's eye, more than a dream. They said he lived in the minds of lovers, and he walked the earth looking for love himself. He laughed like grapes and sang like wine. He ran everywhere he went, looking high and low. He fell in love with nearly everything he saw, but he saved his heart for one. And in the minds of lovers, it all played out the same. He'd find love amidst the laughing grapes and the singing wine, and then they'd wake up. The story ended. He was nothing more than the past, nothing more than what he was. And he'd wake up with this throbbing sensation in his chest and blurry vision. And when the chest stopped throbbing and the vision cleared, the heart dropped. And all he could see for miles and miles was the moon. The moon beneath his heels and over his shoulder. And his love was still with the grapes and the wine, but he lost his appetite. He lost it all. Most people keep out that part of the story, but I don't. Because I don't want to end up on the moon. I'm deathly afraid of heights. My car is red. I stop at yellow lights. I wish I ran them, but I can't. If lives are like canvases that we paint with experience, my canvas is blank. It's white with inexperience. I read somewhere that vibrant colors wake dreamers. They stimulate the brain or something and bring about consciousness. Ever since, I've stuck to dull colors, dull experiences, so my dreamer won't wake up. But all I have to put my name on is a blank canvas. And I walk around to see a world of beautiful canvases. Blues and oranges, greens and purples, and I can't help but wonder why they aren't afraid. They aren't afraid to wake up or to be woken up, because even if they do, they'll have something to leave behind. Because they have something to leave behind. I mean, all I have is speed limits and yellow lights, the low dive and the shallow end, the fear and the worry. But I want a canvas of speed and red lights, of high dives and deep, deep ends, of excitement and hope. I want a colorful canvas. And I want to scream, and I want to leap, and I want to laugh at things that aren't funny, and cry at things that aren't sad. I want to do anything to get me out of this dream. I want to drive my red Volvo to the moon so I can meet the man and bring him grapes and wine, and we can stain my canvas with whatever's left. Because maybe it's not about how long we dream or how long we're in someone else's dream. Maybe it's about what we leave behind while we're here, while we are dreaming. And maybe the man on the moon isn't sad or lonely, because he left so much love on this earth, because his story is still being told. And the good thing is, I've got a blank canvas. And I think I'll start with red, like my Volvo.
I don't know if you guys ever had fever dreams, but I had this recurring one when I was younger where I would be alone in a huge, completely empty white room. And I would think to myself, I want to be the king of the world. And then this line of people would appear beside me, and I would tell the first person in line, and then they would tell the next, and they would tell the next, and it would keep going, like a telephone. The game. And eventually, it would go around the whole world, and then it would get back to me. And then this alligator would appear in front of me, and I would pick it up and throw it into this swirly black hole thing in the ground. And then I'd wake up. It's been several years since I last had that dream, but it stuck with me after all that time. And I feel kind of weird talking about it now because, like, what? What does that mean? What what part of myself came up with that? And why? What was I trying to tell myself? Or what was I trying to deal with by having that same dream every single time that I got a fever? Was the telephone game around the world supposed to tell me that, it might take a while, but eventually my sickness will pass? Or was me throwing the alligator in the swirly black hole representative of me overcoming my sickness? Or was it just... I don't know. These are just things that I think about sometimes. That's what fascinates me about dreams. Like all those questions that I just asked. Questions that I don't know the answer to. No one does. We think we do, but not really, not completely. Now, I have a hard time remembering my dreams, and a lot of time what people like me will do is whenever they will keep dream journals, where whenever they wake up from a dream, they will take the journal and they will write down their dream, like the moment they wake up. I do not have a dream journal. However, what I do is whenever I wake up, I will take my phone and record myself retelling the dream, basically. I don't exactly remember why I started doing it, but I keep doing it because when I go back and listen to them, it helps me remember my dreams, relive them. And it's cool to go back and listen to them because of all those questions that I just asked. I don't know, and I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I'm too tired, or sometimes by the time I'm fully awake, I don't remember the dream. But I still keep doing it. I probably have 70 or so dreams saved over the past year and a half, and it is a weird thing sharing your dreams with people, because dreams come from us. They don't just happen. We make them. If you have a weird interaction in the world, you can talk about it and be like, oh, what a weird thing to have happened. But if you have a weird dream, it's like, oh, I'm weird. It's a very vulnerable thing. And so, with that being said, this is a dream from June 8th, 2016.
So I had a dream that I was at a little bats game or something like that, and then and Bill Clinton was there, so I went and he didn't lie to me. Bill Clinton just happened to be meeting people right by where I was hanging out in the parking garage. So I was like, sure, I'll say a couple words. So I said something funny. I think I had on a wig or something. And then I left. Larry David lookalike guy came up to Bill Clinton.
Anyway, so I go and I'm looking for my car, Sasha. So I'm looking for her and I can't find her. And I look all around the parking garage, the upstairs, the downstairs. I go up, I go up every floor. I don't see her. So finally I leave. And I'm walking on the outside of the parking garage now. And I see these stairs that lead to a ladder, and then I take the stairs up the ladder to get back to the first floor of the parking garage, because that's like the one place that I hadn't checked, so maybe she's there. Sasha, I mean. And so I climb up, I go up the stairs, and start climbing up the ladder, and then I'm like, you know, only 1/4 of people have ever had to climb up a ladder in their life. Yeah, kind of like a stand-up joke, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. And then so I'm climbing up the ladder, and I climb up, and I'm just climbing, and I'm climbing, and I'm climbing, and finally I get all the way up to the top, and it's so high up, and all I could think about was how much I could see, and I had to climb up this like paper cardboardy stuff by the end of it. But then I get to there was like no way to get in. That was it. There was like no way to get in the parking garage from the ladder. I think that was the end of the dream.
November 8th, 2016. A day that will live in infamy. I was raised in a pretty political household, which made me a pretty political person, but most people say that doesn't matter yet because I'm not 18. Most of my friends aren't exactly what I'd call politically inclined. If it tells you anything, one of them once saw the Clinton sign in my yard and asked me in complete seriousness, "This might sound stupid, but I've been wondering for a while, who the heck is Clinton Kane?" True story. So, because most of my peers don't really care about the political environment around them, I found it rather challenging to explain my feelings to them. But I read somewhere that humans have a basic set of 6 emotions. So I would like to explore the first 100 days or so of Donald Trump's presidency through those 6 emotions. Because I figure, even if you don't give a rat's ass about politics, you can still understand these 6 emotions. So I've laid them out here. Let's start with my initial reaction, surprise and confusion. How could a reality TV star just become the most powerful man in the world? If we live in a democracy and the government is selected by the people, how could 865,075 more people vote for Clinton than for Trump? How could only 865,075 more people vote for Clinton? How can I live in a society full of so dangerously oblivious people?
remember the night of the election. I parked my car outside my house, and I sat there, staring straight ahead, trying to convince myself to wake up from this ridiculously unrealistic nightmare. But I didn't wake up. I walked into my house, and I sat down on the couch, waiting for my parents to come home, waiting for someone to talk to about the tragedy that had just occurred. I don't know how long I sat there, but eventually my parents came home. And I don't know if you've ever seen your parents cry, but there's something about it that just feels wrong. And I sat there, staring at them, saying nothing. And eventually I got up and I walked over to them, and we just stood there, together, crying for what felt like an eternity. And it wasn't the kind of crying that makes you shake and gasp for air, or the kind of crying that makes you feel like you have a hole in your chest. No, it was the silent kind, and you can't even feel anything. The tears just stream down your face, and you wouldn't even know they were there if it weren't for the little warm trail they leave on your cheek. So, as a middle-class straight white woman, people told me I didn't have anything to be scared of after the election. They said I had nothing to worry about. The idea that I might have to raise a child that I can't support? No worries. The idea that I might lose the basic right to control what happens to my body? It's fine. Before the election, I heard Mr. Trump talking about women as objects that he could grab whenever he so pleased. But hey, that's just how guys talk. Absolutely nothing to be scared of as a woman. I got nothing. Sorry. There are just some emotions that are too powerful for words. Like, you know that feeling when you have a literal ball of rage in your stomach and it just gets bigger and bigger until you're mad at everyone and everything? I'm mad at him. I'm mad at my fellow citizens for electing him. I'm mad at my mom for not giving birth to me 10 months sooner so I could have voted. I'm mad at myself for not doing more. I'm mad at whoever the hell styles his hair and gives him that fake tan. I'm mad at my country for abandoning me. I'm mad that hate is overpowering love. Okay. So this was not one of the original 6, but it's something that I really needed over the last 100 days, and something that I actually got a lot more of than I thought I would. A lot of that came from our dear president himself. I mean, have you heard some of the stuff this man says? Sorry, haters and losers, but my IQ is one of the highest. Please don't feel so stupid or insecure. It's not your fault. Sometimes I don't even know what he's trying to say. I would be the greatest jobs president that God has ever created. I would be so good at the military, your head will spin. You can't forget the insanely creepy side of him. Perhaps if Ivanka were my daughter, I'd be dating her. And sometimes he's just flat out incorrect. Global warming was invented by and for the Chinese. I have never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke. Now, I moved through all of these emotions pretty quickly and sporadically, and they covered pretty much all of my bases, but there are some things that these 6 just can't handle. So, I'm gonna make a new one. Peace. And I don't mean like finding your inner peace through yoga or meditation or whatever. And I don't mean I'm going to stop fighting. I mean, I have made, or am trying to make, peace. Because I've come to a point where I realized we aren't owning these problems. We aren't accepting that they're ours. I go to these protests, and I hear the people around me chanting, "Not my president," and I want to tell them to stop. That I feel their pain, but they're wrong. If you live in the United States, Donald John Trump is your president. You don't have to like him. If you haven't noticed, I sure don't, but that doesn't change the fact that he is our president. And If we can't accept that, how can we expect anything to change? I have made peace so that I can see that the rioting and screaming and not accepting what's happening is keeping us from moving forward. And I have made peace, and that's what allows me to look at Trump supporters and understand that they're scared. He was their hero, their champion, and we have to understand that. They are scared. We are scared. The whole world is scared. But things don't seem so scary when you know you're not alone. I have made peace so that I can fight for my America. In my America, women can walk to their cars alone at night without the fear of being raped. In my America, my immigrant neighbor will still be in his house tomorrow when I wake up. In my America, I don't have to pull out my cell phone to record every time a person of color is stopped by the police. He is my president, but this is not my America.
A revolution just arrived like the morning. Bring the alarm, we got to wake up this morning. They're telling you to never worry about the future. They're telling you to never worry about the torture. They're telling you
You've been far away from me, another land across the sea. And all this time your heart has been breaking, just waiting round and aching for a lateral telegram, telling me how sweet I am. It's where your heart will never roam. So do you come back home or where your colors left you?
To my dearest granddaughter. As you know, it isn't easy for me to write these letters. It isn't easy for me to do much of anything. But I love you, so I do. This is a particularly special letter, and I think you know why. I found something interesting the other day. I was going through some old photographs and I found this. It's a picture of your grandfather and his family. Your grandfather was the second oldest. Did I ever tell you that? I think about him every day. How much I miss his voice, his laughter, his wide smile. I've been waiting so long, waiting